My biggest regret was telling my dying little sister that I would personally her and that I hated her and I wish she was dead. My little sister died January 19th, 2019. She had vasculitis of the lungs and ultimately died of lung failure. A little bit of context, I grew up in a house full of girls. There was 5 of us. And of course we all fight. We all say, oh, I hate you. Oh, I wish you was dead, bitch, blah, 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 blah. But out of nowhere, my little sister started getting to where she couldn't breathe. We take her back and forth to the doctor. They kept saying, oh, it's strep. Oh, it's strep. Oh, it's asthma. Oh, it's strep. She was medically neglected by Tanner Healthcare System in Atlanta, Georgia for a hard 2 months until it was too late and we had to go to Emory because she no longer could breathe by herself. She went to go get some pizza one day with my mama, supposed to go get some Stevie B's, and out of nowhere she's like, Mama, I can't wait, I can't breathe, please help me. So they rushed to Emory again. This time rushing to Emory, as soon as they got there, they realized that it was far worse and that she had significant lung damage from her lungs basically hardening, so they wasn't inflating. So immediately trying to vent, they tried to vent her and they couldn't vent her because it wouldn't blow up. Her lungs just stopped working. So they did what was called a lung bypass, which everybody knows is just a temporary option. You cannot live on it, you cannot recover on it, you cannot do good on it. Organs are going to start failing. So myself and the rest of my family, of course we all gathered. We stayed there. She was in the hospital for 2 months and we just watched her slowly fading away. She was in a medically induced coma literally the whole time, and her anxiety was so bad she kept waking up and they kept putting her down. Waking up, putting her down. My dad almost literally fist fought with the doctor because the doctor came in and was like, look, she can't stay on this for like forever. Like her kidneys, everything's starting to fail and we need to start talking about taking her off. And he was like, motherfucker, don't come in here and saying that shit in front of my daughter. My daughter can hear you. And he was like, I can assure you that she don't hear you. So my dad was fixing to push him through the nurse's station and they called the police up there, knowing damn well this man's daughter is literally laying there ready to come off life support. Anyways, the officer basically let my dad stay, and then another week goes by. We get a family conference call because my mom and dad would use their phone. They would always 3-way another child, and we would all do it until we were connected. And we all decided that she was tired and she was ready to go home. She just couldn't sit there anymore. I originally wasn't supposed to be there, but for some reason, I got in my Tahoe and took off, and I was there. I made it in time before they did it, and I got to kiss her and tell her I'd see her later, and that I loved her, and I was sorry. And I walked out and I shut the door. I was sitting in a little room next to it, and next thing I know, about 2 minutes later, I hear my mom just screaming. I heard my mom screaming. She's like, my baby, and she's gone. And it turned out it was over. They pumped up all her medicine so she wouldn't feel nothing, and they basically turned off her thing that was keeping her up. So immediately my mom starts trying to rip hoses and shit, and they had to stop her. I had to call the funeral home to come pick her up. Long story short, fucked up story. This is why I started the video the way I did. You never know what somebody's going through. And just because someone doesn't look sick does not mean they're not sick. And if I knew she was sick, I would have never told her that day that I would unalive her and shit, because I didn't know. I had no idea that my little sister was going to be dead within 6 months. The worst part is it's something that could have been managed, but she had autoimmune disease and didn't qualify for a lung transplant. We wrote literally everybody that we possibly could, and they wouldn't put new lungs in her because they would just attack herself again. And I don't know if you know this or not, if you hold your hand like this and your nails are curving over, it's called club nails. That's a sign, a big indicator, the biggest one, that you have lung problems and you need to go see a pulmonologist. Let my story be a story for you. Don't hate on your loved ones no matter how mad you are. Watch what you say to people, because you can't take it back and you're gonna be mad at yourself. And always be compassionate and watch your kids' nails, watch your nails, and just love one another. Anyways, that's the story for those of you that asked.
I'll massage it. I love you too.